Hello everyone, welcome back. Looks like Kantara Chapter 1 team just wrapped up their shooting. Yep, after what seems like a massive, long, and intense schedule, filming officially concluded on 7th July. Around 250 days of shooting across some wild and rugged locations in Karnataka. And the moment I saw the wrap post, I realized that this is not just another film update. This one actually matters because Kantara Chapter 1 isn't just a film people are waiting for, it's a story that already feels personal for a lot of folks. Now, if you are wondering what this one is about, this isn't a sequel. It's a prequel to the 2022 film Kantara, the one that came out of nowhere and hit hard. It wasn't marketed like crazy, it didn't have massive expectation, but it stuck because of how grounded and rooted it felt. So, while the original is now being referred to as Chapter 2, this film, the prequel, is going back to where the story truly began. The story is set during the time of Kadamba Dynasty, which ruled parts of Karnataka around 345 to 540 AD. So, yeah, we are talking about the 4th century here. What I really find interesting is that the film is planning to explore the origin stories of the divine spirit we were introduced in the first film, Panjurli Daiva and Guliga Daiva. These weren't just the background elements in the first film, but they were the spiritual core of it. So now, with chapter 1, we are going deeper into the roots of Bhoota Kola, the cultural practices, and how this whole divine and land guardianship belief even began. Now, let's talk about Rishabh Shetty's character. In the teaser, he's called Kadu Bettu Shiva, and he's shown absolutely drenched in blood, wearing those bear horn style earrings. That details alone has already sparked a ton of speculation. Is he playing Panjurli, a fierce form of Shiva, or something else entirely? Nobody knows for sure yet, but what's clear is it's intense and it makes everybody curious. Let's talk about the effort. Rishabh Shetty apparently trained for over a year for this role, getting trained in horse riding, culinary prior to sword fighting, and the other things. And there's a war sequence in this film, choreographed by experts from India and abroad, with 500 plus trained fighters and a total cast of nearly 3,000 plus people. All of it shot over 50 days on a 25-acre mountain set in Karnataka. That's not a small scale by any means. Now let's talk about the music. Because the original one had most effective soundtracks in the recent memory, B. Ajnish Loknath is back again, and early signs suggest that he is leaning into similar instruments and textures as the first one. That's a good thing, but I'm hoping that they also try something different, keeping the rawness intact. Now, here's the thing: 125 crore for this movie is a massive jump from the original budget, which means the expectations are naturally higher, and that's a tricky place to be in because once a film becomes a phenomenon like Kantara, the follow up often ends up trying to recreate the magic and sometimes loses the soul in the process. So I'm being cautiously optimistic. The ambition is clear, but I do hope they have managed to keep the same honesty and rawness that made the film so special in the first place. So, when is it coming out? It is slated to release on October 2nd, 2025 on Gandhi Jayanti. Digital rights are with Amazon Prime. So, yeah, it's going big. Pan India for sure. I have always appreciated what Kannada film industry has been doing lately, not because it's trying to go bigger than anybody else, but because there is a quiet confidence in their storytelling. Kantara wasn't perfect, but it had that rawness, that rooted energy, and it felt like it came from a personal space. And Rishabh Shetty, from what we have seen so far, seems like a guy who is growing in strength step by step. And he seems like a hardworking guy with a good work ethic and building relationships across the industry, working on this with a true belief in the project. He also has a pretty interesting lineup coming after this movie, something I'll probably cover in another video. But for now, Kantara Chapter 1 feels like more than just a film. It feels like they are digging into the soil, finding the seed, and showing us how the tree even came to life. Let me know what you think. Is it going to live up to the expectations of the Kantara fans? What's your take on the teaser and who Rishabh Shetty's character really is? Hit like if you enjoyed this breakdown and subscribe if you are into grounded takes like this. And I'll see you in the next one.